And hey, lo and behold, we got Aachen City Esports running a very similar strat to they ran in the Game 2 against Empire, where they had Grimstroke and Pudge. The mix-up is that it's not going to be a CK this time. It is a Juggernaut, and now they run a Centaur Warrunner instead of, was it Darkseer? No, Darkseer was on the other team. What was it that they ran? I'm not sure. Anyways, doesn't matter. Centaur this time around. The CK was banned out by the Pango. Did lose that game number 1. There were so many moments where it felt like they were going to be able to turn it back around. And then just a couple of decisions that go wrong. They don't buy the time for those BKBs to come online. And all of a sudden, they lose the game off the back of that and losing the Aegis. The fact that that Roche respawned so quickly for that second one is absolutely nuts. And now we're going to have a naive anti-mage. Is this good? They don't have much lockdown for him. Pudge is kind of okay against Anti-Mage, I want to say, though. It might actually be one of the better competitive heroes against AM for being able to find him, potentially.
5 seconds remaining.
Because, well, maybe not. I don't know. I don't know, to be honest. But my thought here is that oftentimes with AM, you're trying to get set up somewhere for him to be in position, and then you find him and you kill him. Pudge wants to roam around and find kills, right? So the two kind of fit together. The problem is going to be, can you actually kill the AM? And that's sort of a different kettle of fish, right? I'm assuming you actually probably can't get off your spell shield if you shift Q it from Pudge, I think. Well, regardless, yeah, it's actually probably not good against AM at all. What am I talking about?
10 seconds remaining.
I don't know. Maybe it is. It all depends, right? Depends on if you're a good AM player. If you end up getting caught out of position, like let's say that Pudge smokes up with the Centaur, right? Okay, you have 2 heroes missing. AM knows that they could potentially kill him. He goes somewhere where it's safe. He doesn't have to worry. If he's ever playing somewhat Cavalier, Pudge punishes that really hard. I guess that's the point that I'm trying to make. Because it's pure damage, which means Spell Shield isn't going to block much of it, because he's got long disable if he does find you, it's like, if you can find and catch that AM, Pudge almost alone with like maybe one other hero can kill him off.
10 seconds remaining.
So we'll see what they decide to go for this last one. People were mentioning in chat the Techies ban. Zayat's probably the best Techies player in the world. We were at the major, it was at the after party, and I think that somebody was talking to somebody else about Techies, and I think there was the coach for BP said, yeah, Zayat's is the best Techies in the world, or something like that. If there's anybody that can make Orc, it would be him. But anyways, it's all good. It's all good. Witch Doctor, can they protect the AM? I think so. They're running that Razor again. Doesn't feel great. Does not feel great. I'm gonna mute myself while I cough real quickly. You guys haven't had to hear me coughing up a lung. Somehow I'm still sick from the Chongqing Major. Like, however long ago that was, the cough is still sticking with me. I swear to God. The plague that you get from these lands is sometimes just too strong. It's like almost time for the next miner to start up, and I'm still dying. So we do have the final pick now.
Monkey King.
You may
Hey.
now select your heroes.
Mr. Monkey King. Very, very cool. Is that good? Are they just going to try and run down lanes again? I mean, I think the reality of this game is it just like they're going to try and end it before AM comes online. Monkey King provides you really, really strong laning. It's going to cause a lot of issues. Most definitely. I can hear a bunch of kids yelling outside. My dogs are not happy about it. It's currently snowing right now, which means that everybody wants to go out and build snowmen. We're hearing pig noises coming from the Pudge, maybe, or I guess it's one of the chat wheel sounds. But this is what happens, ladies and gentlemen. When it starts snowing, kids love to play outside in the snow, and then dogs don't like the sound of kids playing in the snow. So game number 2 backs up against the wall. The Pango wanting to keep their hopes alive of going to the minor. This is just the final game for the first phase of the closed qualifiers. The other teams that are already moving on to the next round, Gambit and Old But Gold got the free pass on, and then Empire had to beat out Aachen City Esports to move on to the second phase, and then the winner of this series is also going to move on to face off against them as well. Ah, somebody reminded me that they had Void in the last game. That's what it was. But they've completely switched up the draft anyway, so it kind of doesn't matter. All right, let's head out across the map. Got to see some cool stuff last time as well. Zayats, if anybody missed it, just walked immediately over here to this tower and then hid behind the trees. And then you hear my dog barking behind me. And then as soon as they came out the other side, like they had placed a ward right here, and so he revealed himself on it. Is the Pango gonna try and do the same thing? It doesn't look like it. But the whole idea was that the tower aggroed him, and that showed that there was a ward there. And then I was like, oh my god, what a freaking baller. Yeah, so he's doing the same thing again. Okay, he thinks that there's a ward there, but he fucked up. He walked into vision. Oh no, Zayats! It was so smart before, but now he's owned. Oh. Yeah, he was just inside of vision there instead. Unfortunate. Unfortunate, unfortunate. Naive. Tiny. He's already got his boots early on. Possibly going to look for some tossbacks. We did see in one of the previous series, it might have been last game, I'm not quite sure, a Tiny taking the tree grab level 1 and kind of not paying off for him because of that. So, looks like it's going to be a trade-off, 2 runes apiece. He can't block the pull camp now. Oh, he still will have about 30 seconds to get it off with the Hawk if he wants to. But we'll see if Ghostic wants to do that or try and put the pressure on elsewhere. I like him a lot more on the Beastmaster. This is a hero that I feel like fits Ghostic playstyle a lot more. Like with Puck, you've got to be elusive, you got to be jumping in and out. Like, granted, you are a Blink Initiator, which is where you think of Ghostic, but the reality of the situation is that you play your like laning stage very different when you're like one of these big tanky strength heroes, and that's the important thing I think that separates it. Oh, nice deny there. Any battles going on up top here? We're gonna have to keep our eyes on the cute Pudge. He had a hell of a game in the last series on the Pudge, but it was not enough to really matter. Still hanging on to the ward there on Slayer. Looks like they don't decide to go for the D ward there, maybe realizing that there wasn't one in the world. Stun. Ghostic backing out again. Still keeping his boar alive. We'll be able to summon the second one now. We'll see where they decide to go with the pressure. This is kind of a weird lane. You can definitely put pressure onto V2 and on this Jug, but really the ideal target would be the Grimstroke. Nicely done there with the deny. The other thing to keep our eyes on is going to be this Monkey King, how he does in the laning phase against the Razor. Looks like so far he's been able to get a little bit of the better side of him. Obviously having a little bit better base damage, having that Quelling Blade there. Did go for the D ward, but there's no ward here at all for him to hit on. Oh my god, dude, you got a lot of minus damage. Uh-oh, Zayat does have toss. Don't get too close to the tower, buddy. Oh my god, they're playing this so well. This is really dangerous. Like, you can totally get tossed back under the tower here if he's not careful. But they're doing a great job. The other thing is they just pulled a cold creep wave pack to them. So they're going to try and cut this one. Bottom lane, diving for V-Tune, has Maledict on him, can spin to dodge away from some of the damage. He should still get hit by one more tick, I think. Oh! Okay, no, he's fine.
Forget this.
Alright, I thought that was going to do more damage, but it is just level 1. Alright. That's not fake hype, that's just bad knowledge. Can we patent that as a different thing? Oh, easy deny. Haven't really been able to get a ton out of this Pudge so far. Doesn't have a clarity either, so we'll just have one more hook for the next little while. Messing up the pulls with the Witch Doctor illusion. Right click never landed. But the big winner in all of this is the AM. Look at him. This guy's out of control. This guy's balling. 22-4. Having a hell of a time. They want to secure the Jugs farm. Still no kills at the early goings of this. I love this. They're like, all right, I don't even want to trade hits with Jonas and fam. I am just going to not punch you so you don't build up retaliate stacks.
Unseen energies.
Do get more points up in the Jingu. Try and pressure when possible. I have 2 points in spin right now for the Jug. Screen gonna get a partial pull off there. Is this a battle of brewing? Ooh, first blood.
Many bloodings.
That's what you get when you step too far forward. I actually love this though from Joseph fam. Like, so he's taking more points than retaliate, right? But they're just not ever punching him. So he doesn't get to build up the stacks. He can go use it against the tower eventually, but you don't want to take tower at this like early level. I think this is actually the right way to play this. I've been saying it for a while where it's like, all right, if you punch the centaur, he gets himself into a position where he just will kill you. So just let him like freely harass and you dodge away. Do pulls and then let Naive farm under tower. This is a really smart way of dealing with the centaur because the centaur has often been thought of as like, oh, nice pull back there. Make sure that he breaks the link. Like, the centaur has often been thought of as the answer to AM, and it's like, okay, so what do you do if the AM is there? So instead, just take the tiny, and then he can't really come and contest the pulls as much as the centaur, because there's the danger of being tossed back underneath the tower, right? So it kind of is working. Already up to 3 Wraithbrands for Naive, and it's going to get towards those power treads pretty soon. This is about the best that you could hope for. And now trading hits, I don't know if that's necessarily the greatest because he's going to be able to pop retaliate pretty soon. But does burn through the mana at the very least. And let's see, was that a ward planted within vision? I don't think so. And he sees them now. They're ready to dive, it looks like. Avalanche can get spin off if it was off cooldown, which it wasn't. But all those heroes move in and it can't really do anything anymore. So 6.5 minutes. Only 1 kill so far. Pretty boring early game, if I'm gonna be honest. Oh no. That's the worst feeling in the world. You're like, I'm gonna time this perfectly. I'm gonna get it exactly how I want it. And then it just, nothing goes as planned. And just like that, Slayer not able to make the kill happen. The TP Pudge mid as well. They're just taking a walk together. You know, seeing what happens. If there's a kill there, cool. If not, that's fine too. So we will have the power treads done for the anti-mage. I would imagine just go into the Battle Fury afterwards. There aren't great heroes to really like do a heavy initiation on. Oh, wait a minute. Stampede pop for that one as well? Stun onto Zayat? This is kind of an awkward fight. Aachen right now, but with the chase down, they're able to get another pullback onto Zayat. Almost getting the kill, but the toss and jug too far forward is gonna be punished, and just a little bit too awkward coming out there. They did manage to lose the Tiny as well. But Stampede used for that one doesn't feel good. Even though you get the Tiny, it's not the way you wanted it. Oh, and the slowdown on the cube. They've got the boars on him. Boar action. Nah, it's not going to be enough. I thought maybe they could get the slowdown, then they'd find the kill. And it's like, how do you really punish this anti-mage, right?
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Like, he's just going to salve up now.
Radiant's middle
They're feeling really good. They lose Slayer, but stuff does not matter all that much. The reality of the situation is Abe's going to have a really good game. Maybe Aachen can go for just like early pressure down. That's a possibility. Tankin. Kill off the healing ward. Yonasan fam stuns up the Witch Doctor, manages to get the tower, but comes at the cost of his life. And now V-Tune also in some trouble here. Doesn't have a TP away. And you've got level 8. Look at this anti-mage. It's level 8 compared to the 5 of the Jug. AM is really big. I still don't know if it's quite going to be enough. Because I'm thinking about how this game works going forward, and it's like, if they just wanted to walk down lanes as 5 with this lineup, I think they can do it. And it's really hard for the Pango to fight that. You need like BKB on Razor and probably something close to a BKB on the anti-mage too. Oh, close. I think if you get that stun, you kill him there with the hook follow-up. And Zayat gets the kill on the Yonasan.
Just what the doctor
Hello?
ordered.
Who's taking the bounty? Who's taking the haste?
Bounty.
We'll see. The Pango certainly can still make this work. They're with the slight lead now at the 10-minute mark.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Levels wise, it's really the Tiny that's the one that's been the biggest winner so far. Is that Tome knowledge, I'm assuming? They have the Tome coming out for the Pudge now?
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
So he's almost level 6. So that makes up the difference in the levels. It is still AM farming, but he's lost his tier 1 tower. And does not have Battle Fury yet. Yeah, this is what you would have loved to be able to get that Boundless Strike into a hook, but it's like they know. You know, just play around it. Play around the vision. Make sure you're never standing in one place still for too long. It's really hard. Venom Embrace. Silence there. And the walkway. Yeah, actually AM I think might just... That tree was moving so fast. He walks away. Clear through the creep wave. They're making enough space. Oh, if the Pango is able to group up like this, maybe it is just enough for them. What they have to sort of keep the pressure on. Arcane Runes stolen by the Pudge. Almost level 6 for himself. You know, so I'm gonna TP away. Ooh. Spooky, spooky. Another nice thing about this draft for the Pango is that they do have pretty good like damage amplification, maledict. They're deciding to max that out. When everybody rotates to bottom, I'm gonna move in towards mid, try and take the tier 1 tower here. This Monkey King is also rather large. It does have his ulti. Needs to be a little bit careful about like getting tossed out of it or something by the Zayat Tiny. Because afterwards going to be going for the Blink Dagger, but still a little ways away from it. And Ghostic doing a good job of split pushing while this is going on. If you're going to try and defend as groups, you need to make sure that you're getting something else on the map while they're taking that objective. So doing a good job of making sure that that happens. Pudge again searching for a hook for a kill, but will not find it. Monkey King a little bit too late to the party there. And now we'll see. It looks like they're getting set up to push the top tier 2 tower. And this is what they want to do. You know, move from lane to lane to lane, take down tower after tower. The problem is that the Pango recognize this and they're saying, okay, nobody's going to show up to defend this tower. We'll keep some people on the shrine to make sure we don't get backstabbed. And then we'll take the tier 2 tower and force you back to your base because we're going to start hitting tier 3. So they need to finish this one off real quickly. Yosim Fam could even think about TPing while still getting hit by the tower and deal that extra little bit of damage to it. But they need to come back and defend against the Ghost Stick push. And he already has the Hawk down, which means that he won't get caught out of position. And now needing to stampede away because guess what? People show up trying to defend the tower. They are a second too late. Now Aachen need to get out of here before they get caught and killed. Looks like they're going to be able to TP out with the Razor. Screen will die. Gives himself the little silence. And that is the end of it. So that's fine. Oh, if they can get Roche, that would be big. But it looked like Ghost Stick called for it, and Pango decided that that's not the call to make. Still AM Farms. Very, very close to a Battle Fury. If you're Radiant, you need to get Aegis. Take down the last of the tier 2 towers and end the game. This looks really similar to what happened in the last game. It was a very, very similar type of game where it's like, alright, just hold out for the Pango. Hold out as long as you can, and Aachen are going to try and push down each of your towers and finish this game. Last time, they didn't wait for their BKBs. They did not wait for the right opportunity to take the fight, and they ended up getting punished for it. Looking for the hook initiation angle, not able to get it. Boar interrupts it, and they back out. So Battle Fury done for the AM. He still needs a little while before he can fight. Like, the reality is that I think he needs Manta before he can get into an engagement. Anything more than at least a pick off. It would happen like that. Oh, God. And this is why. Oh, nicely done there. Able to block the Dismember. He's still in some trouble, though. The Hasted Pudge, looking for him. Finding him? Nope. Can't do it. But in spite of that dodge away, it's still one of the reasons why I'm still not comfortable fighting if I'm an AM right now. Healing Ward. Oh, a little bit off the mark. With that hook as well. And this is what you need to do if you're naive. Cut creep waves whenever possible. And keep the Pango, or keep Aachen on their side of the map. Stop them from doing Roche by keeping pressure on each of the towers. He's playing just about a perfect AM game. Can't ask for a whole lot more. Did not have Mana Void up, so can't find that catch. No Stampede right now, but they will move into the jungle and see if they can find a pickoffs there. The Pango are doing such a good job of like dodging away from these ganks. But that's the thing, right? Like, it's very clear what their playstyle is and what they want to do. This is the setup for it. Able to move into position, slow down, finds the hook there as well, waiting for it, and now the dismember. And they get the kill on a naive. Big, big, big kill. AM off the map for an extended period of time. Now into the pit. Do they decide to go for it? They have Vlad's. It looks like they don't want to. I mean, this could be one of their undoings. They've gotten to the point now for the Pango where they can kind of keep the pressure out. But that's the danger of playing against Pudge, right? It's like I was saying at the beginning of this game. Oh. Excuse me? Omni? Turnaround? You notice it, fam? He's doing nothing with this. But it looks like he will live through the Maledict afterwards. Only one more tick left, and it's not enough to kill him off. Soulbind connects onto both of them, slowing them up, seeing if they can take this fight afterwards. They move in a DD rune on the Monkey King, trying to find the catch. He's able to hit onto both of them, but as soon as he's walking away from this, look at the healing coming back in and the damage coming out. The Pango. It hurts to watch over and over again. They put themselves in a position where they can maybe actually win if they just hold out a little bit longer, but then they get baited into these fights and end up falling apart afterwards. Tough stuff. Really good play by Aachen. And again, this doesn't happen if it's against a team that's not prepared for that movement, right? Like, AM knows that he needs to push here. See if Naive is going to get caught. He's going to move into position, and they were already ready for him. Seeing if they can get the kill, but he's able to get the dismember off, and now the hook afterwards gets the deny and finds the kill. Like, that's the thing, right? Is that it's a combination of both. It's simultaneously maybe the Pango overextending at certain points and not playing as safe as they need to, but also Aachen being there and being prepared to take the fight afterwards. It's both of those things simultaneously. And this is the danger. And I think it's why I was a little bit concerned about them playing Pudge. Playing Anti-Mage into Pudge, because it's a hero that punishes mistakes really, really well. And this is literally one of the best Pudge players in the game right now, playing on it.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Well, just like that, we see the turnaround here. And 8-5, 20 minutes, move into Roche, take it down. And again, eerily similar to what we saw before. You have top net worth on this anti-mage. Naive has had a lot of really good farming games so far, but it's these other heroes that have fallen behind, and particularly the Razor. I mean, it's not necessarily even all on Sylar either. It's partially just what this hero does, and they're moving in to come and contest this Roche, but they're gonna be just a little bit too late. They already have the Wukong's command down. Look at how he lays that out. There's no way you can walk into that. They take down Aegis. And this is exactly what they need to do to try and finish off this game. A nice attempt there from Ghostic to see if he could cut the trees. And if maybe they could kill off that Monkey King as he was going for the Primal Spring. Whew. Man, oh man. So we got Echo Saber, Diffusal Blade on the Monkey King. Centaur, building towards that Crimson Guard, already has the blink done. I feel like I might have been selling short a little bit how good Aachen's been playing this, and I was talking too much about like mistakes the Pango's making. I don't think that the Pango have actually played that this bad. I think that it's actually been more the good plays that Aachen have been making, so apologies for that one. You gotta call it out when you think you made a mistake, because I do think that there's been some mistakes, but it hasn't been like as... It's just that AM drafts are inherently hard to play, right? Like, this is a hero that's... There's a reason that it doesn't win that often, right? You need to play perfect, and even sometimes then you get caught out of position and things can go awry. And it's by no means over either. An overextension by Aachen at any point right now, and they could also end up losing this game potentially, just falling super far behind. But they are in, I think, in spite of the relatively even net worth, I feel like they're the ones controlling the game, very much so. Like, earned experience, like this is a 5-man lineup, right? They're playing together pretty much whenever they can, but they're still ahead in experience. Like,
top tower is under attack.
got him.
Dire structures are fortified. Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
So the tier 3 tower being assaulted, they have the Crimson Guard to try and keep it alive. But this is the point that we always knew could happen, right? And you get caught out like that. It's pretty bad. StarLadder going to die, and they need a BKB and a little bit more than that on top of it to try and take this fight effectively. Already tier 3 tower down, a little bit off the mark with the hook there. They're going to TP back with the Grimstroke to try and get him in range with the rest of his heroes, as Maledict only connects on 1. Avatos onto 2, not bad. Jonas and Fam, very low HP. And they are going to just try and back away now. Healing ward not there. Oof! Got the catch, got the kill. Now, how the heck do you get out of this one? Boundless Strike could come back up in 10 seconds. Screen moving into position. Soulbind onto 2. Phantom's Race onto 2 as well. The turnaround coming in here. They are kind of not taking this fight very effectively, though. StarLadder's going to live through this one. Stroke of Fate, maybe? Nope, doesn't have any mana. They overextend. Great job from the Pango there. Super solid play. Naive comes in the clutch, has his Manta style done, and now is going to go towards the BKB. And that's what he needed to do. That turnaround was huge. So, like I was saying, yes, it was looking really, really bad, but you overextend and suddenly you're going to lose everything. They still have the Aegis, so they can still make a push here, but every fight becomes that much harder. A minute left on that Aegis, and Manta AM... Naive has bought the time for his team that he needed. It still is all about the anti-mage. And as we saw, Monkey King and Pudge can kill him. I think at almost every stage of the game, he can die to that. Likewise, though. Oh, Hoof Stomp. Turn around. Omni Slash in 15. Chase forward for more. Want to get this? Looks like they're going to end up losing Zayat here. Decrep wearing off afterwards. Meanwhile, they found themselves yet another Witch Doctor going down to this Pudge. And you lose a couple of heroes. And immediately, the call is run down the mid lane. They have a catapult, which means even if Naive creep cuts here, which it looks like he's going to have to, it's still going to be a little bit tough for them. They have creeps in the base here. Maybe you could go for some type of like a backdoor play for Naive. I think that's probably his best option because fighting into this right now without the Tiny is going to be quite tough. He's 5,000 gold ahead of the next highest on his team, but if he comes back and he doesn't take that fight absolutely perfectly, they can potentially lose out on a lot. So they're going to go in, have Jonas and Fam take the mid tower while they simultaneously push your bottom. They're going to try and see if they can go for the push on the other side. So Naive forces back the Grimstroke. They take down the range barracks. Jonas and Fam will retreat afterwards. You can tell, like, this game, it's still on a razor's edge. Blink cooldown. Anti-mage that much harder to control. But they have the lockdown to make it work, if at all possible. Let's strike a little bit off the mark. The hook, it connects! Just barely able to find him, and Naive can't go into that. They lose the Beastmaster. He does have buyback. And immediately they're moving in to say, all right, we're killing off this creep wave. Boar, you're not going to be able to pull the creeps. Nobody is in position right now to try and counter-stab this. Although they do have an illusion rune. That makes a pretty big difference for the AM. This is actually going to do a lot of damage. This might be a dead tier 3 tower, actually. Because nobody wants to come back to defend against this. But Aachen, instead, they're going to get the toss back underneath the towers, immediately stampedes away. Buyback coming from the Beastmaster. They're controlling Zayat's, trying to kill him off in time. Naive pops the BKB. Wukong's command out. This is in the middle of everybody from the Pango. Extra armor means they won't be able to kill him off in time. And instead, they're just going to focus down the rest of these heroes. Sylar again caught and out of position. They find that kill, turning on Naive, wanting to kill him off as well. Cube, he needs to find the real one. They've been able to get him with the Dismember. Oh, God. And they lose the Pudge, but the Pudge made the play that they needed. And now 3 dead, no buyback. This AM. He's so much more farmed than everybody, but he still dies. And with the Diffusal Blade on the Monkey King, it's actually really hard for you to walk forward. An AM without mana will die. Oh man, so a 4,000 gold lead. The big thing is that they force the buyback from the AM. If AM dies again in the next 7 minutes, this game is over. But they have access to shrines now. I think that if you're Aachen, your timing for how hard you have to push has been lessened a lot. I don't know about Butterfly either. I guess what his thought here is that he has to... Basically, what it feels like he has to do is be able to be enough of a split-pushing threat that he forces back Aachen. He thinks that there's going to be no item that keeps him alive no matter what. I was wondering about Lincoln's this game, because the main way that he dies is if he gets caught in the Dismember. Boundless Strike into Hook. It's too easy. Roche's 2 minutes away. And now an opening to move up onto high ground. No Witch Doctor, not the biggest deal in the world. The bigger thing is they have all their abilities back off cooldown. Avalanche immediately spin. And they force the buyback from the Witch Doctor. Looking for the Boundless Strike into Hook combo. It's a long range initiation. They could possibly go for a Boundless Strike, killing off the creeps, and then finding the hook through that. Would be very strong. Hits the hook on the Hawk. Boundless Strike hook. And I just see how far back they have to play. Like, this is why Pudge is a really good pushing hero, because... Oh, jump it in. The hook, it pulls out the anti-mage, so Juggernaut lives through for the moment and still able to control up that AM. He does finally get off the catch, though, and that is going to be a Juggernaut dead. The problem is everybody else on Dire is dead also. And Naive can't do enough here. Alone, this is too much. This is it. I think the game is actually just over. Like, you need the rest of these heroes around you to keep you alive. He can maybe go back in with, you know, Dismember off cooldown, but I don't think there's enough time. So the call is go for the last round of melee barracks. 30 seconds left. Yeah, it's not enough time to go for the tier 4s. So take this one down. Maybe afterwards you can rotate up and see if you can kill off the tier 3 tower top lane. Naive is just doing whatever he can to get into that next item.
Dire's bottom barracks has fallen.
'Tis mine.
Kill off the other shrines, and again, the time window for Aachen to move on is continuing to be extended. Buyback status for the AM. It's all about him. Still 4 more minutes left. They're going to have buyback on the Razor. You know, hypothetically, the Pango can still win a fight, right? Because the way that these initiations have been working with is with a Boundless Strike and then Dismember onto AM while the Monkey King is hitting him. If you can get like a toss back, if you can win a fight, there is a world in which the Pango can just walk down a lane and end the game, because there's no buybacks on the Radiant either. This might actually be the Radiant going a bit too far forward. I think that, well, now actually getting the Beastmaster, they need to take this fight. There's no other way. Sylar is in trouble. The BKB's already been popped. Maybe that's an opening if they try to kill off that Monkey King from the get-go. All right, Ghost Scepter. They're burning through a lot of these cooldowns. Sylar still lives through for the moment. Slayer up from the high ground. A good amount of stuns, but it's not enough. Naive needs to win everything and a little bit more than that. He's cutting off these creep waves, though. So there's no creep waves. They have backdoor protection in a second. They should. And you can see Naive immediately goes in. All right, we've got to clear out these creeps and make sure that they can't push. He needs to buy his team more time. Sage gonna just escort this creep wave over, though. And it looks like finally they will have creeps in the base. Backdoor protection disabled. Another hook there on Naive. He's being controlled, being caught, but he's still living through it. Maybe a chance for a turnaround. The Soulbind onto 2, though. He can't TP anywhere. He can't blink anywhere. He's caught, and it looks like he will be killed off. The Monkey King finds his prize. No buyback on this anti-mage. He is dead for the full duration. They pull Sylar back into it, and this Razor will eventually fall as well. And with that, Aachen, the new squad coming together. Jonas and Fan, as well as Screen, all of these folks have been playing amazing Dota, and they are going to move on to the next phase of the qualifiers. As the Pango last little grasps of Beth, and eventually they will call GG. Solid stuff coming out from them. So, I think it's sort of what I was saying, right? Like, this game becomes really tough for the Pango, where it's all about that anti-mage, and they have a lineup that can kill the anti-mage. And they did it. God damn. Monkey King. Holy crap. What a game. MVP. Maybe not. Maybe Cube. I don't know. Like, Monkey King played flawless, but the Pudge had to play perfect. He was the one that set up a lot of those kills that happened on the AM. I think about that TP to the top tier 1 tower on Radiant Dire offlane, or Radiant offlane. Radiant Dire. What the hell am I saying? Guys, this is what happens when you cast for 3 best of 3s back to back to back solo. I will be back tomorrow. There'll be more casts going on. I'll be doing North American qualifiers though, with Trent, and then the day after that, I'll be back with Lacoste again. You guys can hear my dogs drinking water in the background, as they have been locked up in a room with my wife, just hanging out, waiting for the series to get over. Now the series is over, so I hope you guys enjoyed the broadcast. Like I said, we'll be back tomorrow, North American Dota. Day after that, we will be doing EU and then more CIS. So have a great one, everybody. More action to come here, as I think somebody else is going to be taking over for North America and South American Dota. And I will see you guys later. More from the StarLadder ImbaTV Minor in just a few. Adios.